So today we're going to talk about spiritualized victim blaming because I don't see this as being spiritual. I'm an atheist, so I'm personally not spiritual, but I feel like these are warped ways uh, that are used, like the shadow side, basically, of spirituality. So these are four things we're going to talk about. One of the victim blaming phrases is you attracted this. The second one is you chose this when you were born into this world. The third one is the misuse of karma. And the fourth one, or well, the third one is people say karma. I think that's the misuse of karma. I don't understand karma enough, but we'll talk about it in a second. And fourth is this is your soul's contract. So now, to start off, I am an atheist and we are a DID system. Our main team is atheist. There are other parts of the system who have different ways of viewing things. Some of them have belief systems. We don't. So, as far as, okay, we'll start with the first one. You attracted this. You never attracted being abused. That's incorrect. This is victim blaming wording, and it's very dangerous. And people need to, this is really important to stay conscious of, be aware of if you're using this kind of communication. Telling a victim that they attracted their abuse is flat out victim blaming. No one attracts their abuse. Abusers seek out people to abuse. These are predators and they seek out all sorts of people. No one attracted their abuse. So that's a very insidious victim blaming tactic. And there's nothing spiritual about that. Okay. It's if you're having the conversation that spirituality is about health and love and healing and connection and community, no part of that statement reflects any of those things. Okay. So let's go on to the second one. You chose this when you were born into this world. Now, I'm also going to combine that with the fourth one, actually. This is your soul's contract because they are pretty similar. So, what I don't think people are saying maliciously. I believe that this is a belief system. Like, I do think that people are taught in spirituality, in certain spiritualities, that this is, or most of them, I don't know, that this is how things go, right? So it's this one and this is your soul's, like, you chose this when you were born into this world and this is your soul's contract. There's a slight difference, and I'll just the you chose this has an inclination that you had the power to choose. Not every spirituality or faith-based experience believes that. Not everyone believes that they had the power to do that. So this is your soul's contract is kind of similar because there are people who believe that you choose your soul's contract, but there are also people who believe that you didn't choose this. This is something that was given to you by a higher power or something like that, right? So I understand that for people who have faith-based or spiritual-based ideals or belief systems, that this is what they were learned, like they were taught to believe, right? But and that's fine if that's how you want to live your life. You can believe what is true for you, but I want you to be conscious, and conscientious that this is a victim blaming statement. When you say this to a survivor, it is victim blaming because you are still telling them, similarly to the first one, you attracted this, you're telling them even more, not just attracted, but you chose this. No one chooses to be harmed, ever. No baby is born into this world like, wow, I can't wait to be hurt for the greater good. No, absolutely not. And that's just such an insidious mindset, right? There's no such thing as being hurt for the greater good. That's pretty fascist when you think about it. But since the dawn of spirituality and religion, a lot of it has been warped and misused to dominate and control people. So we're groomed to believe this, right? If you look at the state of the world, the people who are in power, most of them are unmanaged narcissists or straight up sociopaths and psychopaths without any mental health support and who are on some ego binge, right? So this world has been set up to protect predators because it's run by predators. So if you understand that facet and I'm not telling you to change your belief system, but understand why this is such a groomed response to listening to a victim. This is not something to be told to a victim. If that's how you perceive your life for yourself, that's fine, but it's not something you should be telling a victim. You Because it's victim blaming. You're telling them this is what they wanted, and they didn't. No victim wanted any of this. So instead of doing that, listen. Listen and be supportive, because that's not being supportive. I know you've been told it is, and for your own personal belief system, if it is supportive to you, that's fine, but it's not supportive to victims. It isn't. And so it's really important to not say this. It is massive, it is very harmful. It will shut down a victim. You could potentially put them in a dangerous situation depending on where they are. They could go back to their abuser. This is really dangerous languaging, all of this stuff that I'm sharing right here. And then finally, let's talk about karma. And I'm going to say this very lightly because this is not part of my I'm over here, like this is karma was bastardized, I believe, by Americans. So I don't think I even have the full concept of karma, but in, the way they present it, and unfortunately all I really have right now is the little I've read, which hasn't been much, or the way it's portrayed in movies from overseas and stuff like that. But karma, someone being victimized is not their karma. And so I've seen it used as a way to, again, justify poverty, justify so much harm to people. And, you know, i- if you're going to use any type of spirituality, this is not the way to do it. You don't tell a victim this, even if this is how you perceive, again, this is how you perceive your belief system. You do not tell a victim that it is their karma that they were abused, because that's really harmful. It's extremely harmful, and it is victim blaming. So here's the thing: if you believe all of these things, that's your choice. But the bottom line is, you don't say this to victims. You can process this for yourself, and if that works for you. But here's a little invitation, right? Whatever your spirituality and your belief is, be gentle with it. Be gentle with yourself. So if you have a belief that you attract things, or you chose what you were born into this world, or of your soul's contract, my personal invitation is to be good to yourself. You only attracted the good things in your life. You chose the good things you were born into this world. Your only karma is the good things that happen to you. And your soul's contract is all the wonderful and beautiful things that happen to you. That's my invitation. Obviously, I can't tell you what to believe. I'm just not going to be so arrogant to tell you this is what you believe. But I am inviting you to take the things you believe and be good to yourself with it. Because in my understanding, when people talk about spirituality and religion, is it's supposed to be something beautiful and healthy and nurturing. And those things, you can't experience nurturing if you don't have safety. So I do think it's good to, well, no, it's good. Let's take good out of the equation. I think it's nurturing and gentle. If you can be gentle with yourself and take all of those things, all of those belief systems, and be good to yourself with them, and only acknowledge that you attracted the best things in this world, and the rest of it is because this world is so harmed and damaged because it hasn't had the chance to heal from centuries of trauma. This Humans don't know a world yet without trauma. That's not for you. And the way I see things is you didn't ask for any of that. You're innocent coming to this world. All you needed to do is be loved. So if it wasn't loving, if it wasn't nurturing, if it wasn't safe, in my eyes, you didn't choose it. So I hope you can be gentle with yourselves. And in this, even if that's not the place you're in, but just understand the boundary that you cannot bring all of this to victims, because it is absolutely victim blaming and it is harmful.